Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Ursula, and we will start shortly, so let's wait 1 more minutes to let everybody join. All right, I think that now we can start. So welcome again. My name is Ursula. I'm from Funding Box, and I'm here together with my colleagues Veronika and Laura, and they will support me in doing this webinar. And first, a few housekeeping rules. Please be informed that this session is recorded, and please keep your camera and mic closed. Do not disturb the meeting. If you have any question, you can ask them at the end. During the session, you can put them in the chat, and we'll try to answer them at the end of the session. So I think that now we can officially start. So as you know, 2 days ago, we launched our second open call, and we, Funding Box, are responsible in this project for doing the open call process and the selection. And today, in agenda, we would like to provide you some information about SecurIT project and second open call. Then we will go through a selection process, criteria, and we will give you some tips how to apply and how to prepare a winning proposal. At the end, we answer a question, and at the very end, we will have a time for some of you who would like to pitch the project to find the partner. So let me start from a few words about SecurIT. So this is a project but the main goal is to build a value chain for safe, secure, and resilient citizen territories. And we, as consortium, would like to do it by providing support to European SMEs in development of safe and more resilient territories and cities. And we are doing this by co-financing and supporting the collaborative project in this area. And we also focusing on supporting cross-border cooperation between SMEs and other actors in this area. And we are doing it by distributing funding. This funding is called Cascade funding, so FSTP in other terms. And we are doing it through the open calls. First open call was launched 1 year ago, and now 2 days ago we launched our second and last open call. A SecurIT project is managed by Safe Cluster from France, and the consortium is composed of 8 partners from different countries. Most of them are cluster operating in security and cybersecurity sectors. And now, when you know a bit background about the project, let's dive into the details of the open call. So here our goal is to select and support up to 21 projects. This means at least 42 SMEs will receive support from us under this call. We would like to focus on supporting consortia composed of at least 2 SMEs. Of course, consortium can be composed of 2, 3, 4 or more SMEs, but 2 is the minimum. And we have 2 funding instruments. Prototyping instrument, where we are giving up to 74,000 euro per project and maximum 60,000 euro per single SME. And demonstration instrument, where we are giving a bit more, 88,000 euro per project and still maximum 60,000 euro per one SME. And also we are offering a support period will last up to 12 months. So who we are looking for in details. So as I mentioned, consortia, composed of at least 2 SMEs. And SMEs should be registered legal person in one of the member states of European Union, or in overseas countries and territories, or in associated countries, or in United Kingdom. Of course, consortia could also contain partners that are not SME, but this entity cannot receive funding, but still can be part of a consortium. Additional requirement is that at least one SME should be technology or solution providers. There shouldn't be any capital or personal link between consortium members, consortium partners. So 2 SMEs shouldn't be linked to each other. And company should have experience in the project domain. And very important disclaimer, companies that already receive support under SecurIT First Open Call cannot be funded under this second open call. It means that if you are part of a support program, you cannot receive funding in the second open call, so there is no point to apply again. How, probably now, you are thinking how you can find a partner. So we prepared several tools to facilitate the process of matchmaking. First is matchmaking sessions. There will be 2 sessions during the project. The first one will be very soon next week on 18th of January, and the next one will be on 8th of January. If you would like to join this type of, let's say, online event, please register. Here's the link, and you will find also the link to the registration on the SecurIT webpage, and also it will be pasted in the chat here. The session will last for 4 hours, and once you enter this matchmaking platform, you should create your profile and provide few information about your project, your solution, and yourself, and try to share the session with other SME that are already registered and that might be interested in cooperating with you. I hope that these tools will help you find a good match. But if not, we have also another option. So you can use our solution catalog. On the SecurIT webpage, you will find the catalog. It's in PDF now, and you can browse it and find potential partners. This is a catalog which contains offer from 87 European SME operating in the security and cybersecurity sector, but are members of our consortium clusters. In the next few weeks, this catalog will be also available online, so this way it will be much easier to search for a potential match. All right, so regarding the ideal type of project, if you already have a partner, then you can think about the detail of the project. So we would like to support the project that address development and implementation of technology and system in cybersecurity, and also digital application applying to security solution. Important is here, note that we are focused only on a solution with a clear civil focus. So we are not going to accept or support proposal with military focus. Please keep it in mind when applying and when creating your application form. In case your project is about demonstration, you should also keep in mind that we are looking for projects that are clear and close to the market and have clear market strategy already in place. Regarding the technology level, so TRL, during the application phase for both instruments, minimum requirements is to be at TRL level 5. And at the end of the support program, depending on the instrument that you selected, you should proceed and reach a TRL level at around 6 or 7 in prototyping instrument, and TRL 8 or 9 in case of demonstration instrument. So very, very close to the market or ready to the market. How you choose the right instrument. So depending on the maturity of your solution during the application stage. So if you are SME and you are interested in building a prototype or MVP, you should apply to prototyping instrument. And if you already have prototype or MVP, and you should apply to demonstration instrument to pilot your solution. And remember that for demonstration, we are expecting that you describe how you are going to perform the demonstration. If you will have letter of intent from potential end users where you can perform demonstration, it will be very important to mention it in your application or even upload it. It's not mandatory, but it's very recommended. What are the challenges? We expect that your project will fit to one of our challenges, our domains, and we have 3 domains: sensitive infrastructure protection, disaster resilience, and public space protection. So let me provide you now some details about each of the domains, and you will find the full list with examples, with a list of challenges on the OpenCo webpage and also on the main project webpage. So let me go quickly through this. So under domain 1, sensitive infrastructure protection, we would like to support a solution and system that are essential for society and economy. So here we would like to support solution for airports, hospital infrastructure, energy suppliers, and other operators. And the solution should take into consideration maintainability, price, anticipation of analysis, and interoperability with existing solution. And here we have 4 domains: cybersecurity, operation, identification, access control, and zone security and perimeter protection. And the challenges that you can address are listed here. So they are around development of a cybersecurity solution for infrastructure protection, optimization of communication networks and alert system, development of optimization, identification, access control, and development of solution to detect and locate any intruders to protect the entrance and intrusion. Regarding the second domain, disaster resilience, here our goal is to focus on improvement, prevention, and preparedness in case of crisis, extreme events, and natural disaster. Our targeted users here should be first and second responders like cities, territories, and government structures. So solution should take into account involvement and acceptance of citizens, transparency, and also continuity in terms of business. And here we have 3 domains: prior to crisis, prediction, risk knowledge, and evaluation, and during the crisis, so mass communication and warning system, and the final, after the crisis, positive analysis and recovery. And we have respective challenges, so optimization of prediction and disaster, optimization of communication warning system in case of disaster, and development of solution for a better recovery. And for the last, third domain, public space protection, our goal is to support solutions that are that have a goal to create more connected city, integrating some AI solution, cloud computing, and big data. Target user will be, of course, citizen territories and, for example, security of public roads and venues open to public like stadium, concerts, train station, and other places like this. And in this case, solution should take into consideration legal aspect, especially related to GDPR issues. Here we also have 4 domains and subdomains: so detection, alert, and behavior analysis, command and control for resource management and decision-making support, and data protection and cybersecurity and cybercrime. And here we define 4 challenges: gather and manage real-time information, analyze and extract pertinent and potential crucial information as quickly as possible, communication network, and post-event analysis and detection. I hope that you will be able to find the domains and challenge that fit your project, your expectation. In case you will need more inspiration, here you can see some kind of example of a project that fit our strategy and goals. And in the guide for applicants, you will also find more information. So just as example, we have a project submitted by consortium composed of 2 SMEs from Austria and Spain. and they would like to develop a digital system that permits access control with an intelligent badge system for authorized persons in charge of protection of critical or sensitive venues. This project answers the challenge identification access control, and as an user, this consortium have Director of Industrial Civil Society. So this is one of the examples. You can find more in the guide. And also, I encourage you to check the list of projects found under our first open call. So on the main SecurIT webpage, you will find the list of 21 projects. And here you can see kind of example. So one is a project titled Helia. It's submitted by 2 companies from France and United Kingdom. And it's for demonstration instrument and addressing domain 2 disaster resilience. And under SecurIT project, this consortium is developing the aerostat permanently flying at high altitude to be able to detect wildfires and monitor different spaces like parks, cities, and so on. And this solution contains AI for real-time management, real-time alerts, and others with fully autonomy. Another project selected for the first open call is called VASCREEN, and this is a project addressing domain 1, sensitive infrastructure protection, and challenge-free development and optimization of identification access control. And this is submitted by 2 companies from France and Spain. And here the solution developed under this project is a technology will allow the detection of potential threats inside the luggage, for example, at the airport using the vapors around. So this is a completely new solution and new idea that is now under development with support from SecurIT. Now let's move to the selection process and criteria. So how we evaluate your proposal? We will follow the schema contains of a few different steps of evaluation process. So after the deadline, we will perform eligibility check and pre-scoring using pre-scoring criteria, and then the best proposal, top 80, will be selected and passed to external evaluation stage. During this stage, each proposal will be evaluated by 2 external experts with expertise background in security, cybersecurity, or business. And then based on scores provided by evaluators, we'll create a ranking list and together with consortium partners selected the best companies during the consensus meeting to join the next selection stage, which is called jury day. And this is the most active part where you will have time and chance to pitch your project. And this time, the jury day will be organized online. So you will not need to travel anywhere, just connect and pitch your project and answer the question from the jury. And the best 21 proposal selected during the jury day will be invited to the legal check and preparation of a subgrant agreement and will be ready to start journey with SecurIT. What are the selection criteria? So we have a different bunch of criteria associated with different selection stage. So we have eligibility criteria. We'll explain you in details on the next slides. Then we have pre-scoring criteria, which we apply only in case we receive more than 80 eligible proposals. Then we have awarding criteria that will be evaluated by external experts. And we have 3 groups of criteria here: excellent, impact, and implementation. And we have here also bonus for companies composed of SME from different countries, so extra score. And we also have, in addition, transversal criteria that will be used to solve ties. So transversal criteria are environmental and low carbon economy, equal opportunities, gender balance, and social impact. So regarding eligibility criteria, there's a few of them, so please pay attention to them. First is European dimension. So this means that your project should bring benefits not only to you or your consortium, but also should bring value to the European Union economy, society as a whole. You should submit your application using our online form. So right form for the right instrument. If you would like to apply to prototyping instrument, you should use the form for prototyping, and the same in case of demonstration. And you should submit your application before the deadline, which is on 14th of March. All questioning applications should be answered, and only one proposal per SME and consortium is possible. If we detected that more proposal is submitted, then only one, the last one which has been submitted, will be evaluated. The rest proposal will be treated as not eligible. What's also important is that SME that already received financial support from SecurIT and the first open call, so when a part of the SecurIT support program are not eligible to receive funding under this open call. And in case you or your consortium partner participate in the first selection process and receive €1,000 for jury day under the first open call, this is okay. You can still apply to the second open call. Your application should be prepared in English. Also, what is important, there shouldn't be any conflict of interest between you and the member of SecurIT consortium. Also, you shouldn't have any problem in case of financial situation. So you should have clear sheets, and you shouldn't be under liquidation or be in difficulties. To check what is your status, we recommend you to use the questionnaire developed by European Commission, and questionnaire is available under the link, which is displayed now. Here you will find the link also in the application form, and it will be placed also in the chat. And when you enter this web page, you will be able to provide some kind of financial data of your company, and at the end you will receive some kind of summary stating if your financial situation is good, acceptable, or it's bad. So we are asking you to attach the results to the application form. So please do not miss this important aspects during the preparation of your application. And the final criterion in case of eligibility is IPR rights. So you should have full rights to the work, license, and so on that will be used during the project. And pre-scoring, so very important aspect, stage of the evaluation process that will be applied only if we receive more than 80 eligible proposals in total in both instruments. So this is a way where our system will automatically assign you scores based on your answer provided within the application form. And in the application form, you will find 10 questions that are noted and marked as pre-scoring questions. And when you will be answering them, please pay attention that they are related to one of pre-scoring criteria. So the list of criteria can be found also in the guide for applicants, but let me remind you the criteria. So first, security by design principles, followed by applicants. Then background, experience of consortium, experience on the target market, scalability of the solution, then target market for the solution in 2 years from going to the market, end user involvement, status at technological level, meaning maturity of your solution, consortium composition at geographical level, partnership experience, and previous project funded by EU. Please note here that we would like to support more companies that do not have a lot of experience or any experience with European funding. And now let's dive into the selection criteria that will be scored by external evaluators. As I mentioned before, that these are 3 groups of criteria: excellence, impact, and implementation. Under excellence, evaluator will score ambition and innovation. So they will check if you demonstrated what you are going to do, what are your ambition, what are your goals, how innovative is your solution compared to the market, and if your proposal project is beyond the state of the art. Under impact, Evaluator will score market opportunity, competition, and commercial strategy and scalability. This means that they will check if you have clear idea regarding to going to the market, if your solution has potential to be successful on the market, what is the competition, if your project, your solution will be better than the competition because, for example, is disruptive, breaks the market, and so on. And also, what's your strategy for commercialization and scalability? So, for example, if your project can be easily scaled, for example, to solve not only a very niche problem, but also solve a problem of the whole sector or economy. And under implementation, we'll check all the aspects, practical aspects related to the project implementation. So first, team, we will check if the team dedicated to the project has competences, skills, and right background to be able to successfully implement your goals. In the application form, you have a place to mention all the team members, so please select them wisely. And also remember about having a cross-balanced team also in terms of gender. Regarding resources, we ask you to demonstrate all resources or equipment or background or infrastructure that you need to develop during the project development. And also, if you're applying to demonstration instrument, we are asking to provide information how you are going to perform the demonstration. And we also would like to check the risk management strategy. So in the proposal, you should include information about the risk that you could face during the project implementation and how you are going to mitigate. After this external evaluation stage, we will calculate the scores provided by external experts and apply the threshold. So for individual criteria, this is 3 points out of 5. And for the overall scoring, you should receive 10 points out of 15 to be able to pass this evaluation stage. And what's important, at this stage for the company, for the project submitted by a company registered in 2 different countries, meaning SMEs, we will assign 1 extra additional point to the overall score. And then after discussion among the partners, we will pre-select up to 40 projects that will join the jury day. So this will be some kind of online pitch competition where you can pitch your project and answer a question from the consortium. And this is a mandatory element. And before the jury day, we'll ask you also to complete self-assessment, ethical self-assessment forms and deliver us your slides, presentation, or recording in advance. How to apply? So you should enter the Funding Box webpage, log in, click the button apply, and start the application. Please be aware that you can edit your application as many times after submission before the deadline. And here is the open call calendar. So the call was opened 2 days ago and will be closed on 14th of March. So you will still have around 2 months to prepare your application. Then we will have a selection process that will last for a couple of months. And the important part is jury day. It will be in the second half of May. And it will be online, so you don't need to travel. And then we will have ethical check, SME check, and all this formal documents check. And we would like you to start the support program at the beginning of July. And at the beginning of July, we're going to organize a kickoff meeting for the selected project. This will be physical event in Vilnius. So please bear in mind that you will be asked to travel at the beginning of July. And this is very important for you to be there and to also reserve some part of your budget for this event. And support program will last up to 12 months. And it's important that you know that the closing date for the support program is the end of June 2024. And here's some overview of the support program. So it's the same schema for both prototyping and demonstration instrument. So for prototyping instrument, we would like to invite 7 companies to perform the prototyping, and for demonstration, we would like to select 14 companies. And after the support program starts, you will be asked to prepare to draft your follow-up plan, where you include your goal and detailed planning for the rest of the support program. And at the beginning of this process, you will receive 20% of the grant. Then in the middle, we will have some kind of interim review to check your progress and implement, for example, any measures to mitigate risk identified. At the end, after providing all the documents and reports on what was done during the support program, you will be able to receive the final part of the grant, so 80% of the FSTP requested during the application stage. And here there's a bunch of tips for you, how to prepare a good proposal, how to prepare yourself for the application stage. So first things first, you should invest time to prepare a good application. We encourage you to check first our guide for applicants, also frequently asked questions, where we included a lot of tips for you and explain some important aspects of the application forms. Then choose the right funding instrument. So depending on the majority of your solution, then check eligibility requirements, check if you are a consortium composed of at least 2 SMEs, and if you have or not, I hope not, any conflict of interest with consortium members. Read also the sub-grant agreement template that will be provided very soon. And try to be convincing with evaluators, try to answer our question, keeping in mind the evaluation criteria. Also, please check the payments procedures and the timeline, and build your team. So please remember also about your demonstration. In case you're applying to demonstration instrument, collect, for example, letter of support or letter of intent from potential end user where you can perform a demonstration. Try to, of course, address at least one of the challenges, and remember that your project should focus on civil application. In the guide in the frequently asked question documents and also on the OpenCo webpage, you will find some kind of checklist for each stage. So I encourage you to check these documents, to be prepared and be aware of what will be necessary for you during each evaluation stage. So for the beginning, for the application stage, of course, you should find your partners and prepare your application, address at least one challenge, remember about the civil focus, and also complete healthy finance check and upload the results to the application form. This is a mandatory requirement, so this is very important to dedicate time to do this. And we also recommend, encourage you to upload a letter of support, letter of intent from any end users that you might have. This is not mandatory, but it's very important to get good scores during the evaluation process. And also when filling out the proposal, please pay attention to the declaration of honor section. This is very easy because you just need to tick a box, yes or no, or accept or true or false. But we experience a lot of mistakes at this stage and in this section. So please pay attention to this. And then before the jury day, you will receive invitation and instruction how to join the jury day and what need to be prepared, but you can keep in mind already that you will be asked to fill in an ethical self-assessment form. You should prepare a pitch, so it will be around 5 to 8 minute pitch, and send us the slides in advance, and be prepared for pitching for connection for 15 minutes on 16 or on 17 of May. And then after this, you will be invited to the legal check. So you will be asked to send us financial statements, registration documents, and all these formal documents. based on the list and the documents that you will receive. It's called Legal Check FAQ. And you should be also prepared to additional questions from Funding Box team. Then you will be invited to sign a sub-grant agreement. So you will be needed to provide us registration documents and power of attorney if needed. And of course, prepare for electronic signature of this agreement by all consortium members. So if you're applying as SME of 2, both of you will need to sign the sub-grant agreement. And then you start your support program, and then you should work on a follow-up plan and be able to travel and join us at the kickoff meeting that is planned in 10 and 11 July in Vilnius. So this was the most important information about our program, about our open calls. You will find the other information on the SecurIT webpage and on the open call webpage, but you can see the link on the screen now. If you will have any questions, you can write to us directly using info.securit.fundingbox.com. And also, if you would like to check the other projects founded during First Open Call, you can visit SecurIT webpage and find the supported project list. And now this is a time for your questions. I don't know if you have any. If yes, I will be happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Ursula. We have a couple of questions as of now. So I'll start with the first one. Is the healthy finances check for the SME or for the individuals or founders?
No, so healthy finances check is for SME, so only for SME, so only for companies who will receive funding. So if you are a consortium of 2 SME, each of you should do this healthy finance check and upload the results. So in the application form, there are specific tabs for providing data of each company, and there you will find also the tab to upload the results of this financial check. It can be a link now, and there will be also ability to upload the attachment later on.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. We have another question from another participant. In the previous call, how many applications were submitted?
We received 111 applications for both instruments.
Okay, wonderful. Another participant would like to know if they will get the slides. Yes, we will make the slides available after the webinar. Then I will continue with the next question. Can consortium be made of the IT SME and industry client where the product will be applied to?
Yes, yep. So consortium, I understand that business client will be some kind of end user and IT company will be some kind of solution development. Yes, if both companies are SMEs, then this is a good match.
Okay, wonderful. And then we have another question regarding the definition of SME. So the participant asked, for having the status of SME, we have to follow European Union standards, which is the maximum number of employees in an SME.
Yes, so there's several requirements, but the most common, most important one is the number of employees. So it's 250. And you will be able to find all the details in our FAQ document. So we elaborated the definition, and we provided also the link, so you can check in details all the conditions to be treated as an SME.
Thank you, Ursula. Another participant would like to know which are the main difference between Open Call 1 last year and this Open Call.
So there's not a lot of difference. So we have a similar structure. We have the same challenges to be addressed, or very similar. We just change a bit some kind of instead, or some kind of small definition. And we also try to improve the application form to be more specific. So maybe we'll find a new question in the application form, but not many. And also what have changed is that we are asking now for this financial situation check. We also giving you opportunity to provide us letter of support from a very beginning. And yeah, I think that this was the main changes regarding the overall process.
Thank you very much. We have another doubt regarding a US company that has a subsidiary in Italy, and the participant would like to know if it's eligible.
Okay, so what we take into account is a place of registration. So if company is registered in Europe, in one of European countries, associated countries, overseas territories of European member states, this is okay. So this is the first thing first, and then if you meet the criteria of being SME, then you are eligible to apply.
Okay, excellent. A participant would like to know, what does the funding cover? He asks if it's just the development and personal cost, or also travel and outsourcing.
Okay, so here we are distributing funding as a lump sum. This means that you can spend money that you receive from us on a different type of spendings that are connected to the project implementation. So you can cover personal cost of people involved in implementation, some purchasing of goods, of license, other things that will be necessary for the project development. Also for travels, we will request you to cover the cost of travels for the kickoff meeting at the beginning of support program. And also subcontracting is allowed, but there is a limit to subcontract not more than 30% of the budget. You can also purchase some services, goods, or of stuff that will be necessary to development your project. So you have a lot of flexibility here.
Great. We have a final question, and it is if it is possible to participate in a consortium in where there is an SMB and a company that is not SMB.
Yeah, so yes, so consortium should be composed of at least 2 SME. And this is a mandatory requirement to be eligible. But apart from these 2 SMEs, consortium can contain also other companies, but are not SMEs. So could be big company, could be also some public institution, could be some public department. So we had during the first open call, for example, consortia composed of 2 SME and, for example, police department in one country as end user, or some big company that would like to test the solution or do a demonstration. So yes, this is, you have flexibility, but bear in mind that minimum requirements is to have 2 SMEs that are not linked. Yes, this is also important. SMEs shouldn't be linked to each other. So situation when we have 2 SMEs, but they are owned by the same person, it's not an eligible example.
Thank you very much, Ula. We just received another question.
Sorry. Can we just add that the additional companies, like the large companies or research centers that will be members, they are not eligible for the funding. So the money will only go to the SMEs, and the other companies, the large companies or research centers that will be part of the project, they will just participate without receiving the money. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Veronica. We just received another question. How will the funding be reported? How strict will it be?
Okay, so because this is a lump sum, I have a good news. We will not ask you for providing us timesheet, invoices, or other financial documents. So we will give you money based on your KPIs and your performance. So we will check what you have done, what you achieved, during the milestone review, and based on your results, we will pay you the grant. So we will not ask you to report anything despite the work done. Of course, at the beginning, we ask you to show us how you are going to plan to use the budget. So, for example, how much you are going to dedicate to subcontracting or how much to pay your staff. But this is only for the beginning, for the planning, to justify the grant that we are going to receive. Of course, probably you should keep the accountancy clear in case some check from your tax offices at your country, but we are not going to request it from you as a SecurIT consortium.
Thank you very much, Ula. We don't have more questions, but I will remind participants if that they have questions in the future, they can write us in the help desk. I will leave the address where they can write, so we can continue with the pitches.
Yes, so now we have a very last part of our webinar, and this part will not be recorded, so we will stop recording.